Okay, so I'm going to soft launch us because there's a lot of people still chatting out there. What we're going to do in this session, sort of I suppose it's logical that it followed the other talk, is have a group of executives from different parts of the industry talk about basically anything they want about the state of the industry at this point. Basically what we're going to do is each of them will give 5 minutes of introductory remarks, not rehearsed, I don't know what they're going to say. I then am going to start formulating questions and we'll do Q&A for the entire session. There might be 1 or 2 PowerPoints, but it won't be much more than that. And then, as is always the case, I'm going to look for questions, so raise your hand so we can get you the microphone, and that's the way we'll do it. Yeah, Claire, I guess you're up first because you're right next to me. So.
Okay, hello everybody. So I am the European or African, let's say, member of this panel, meaning that I am from Orange, and I'm proudly rebranded. But I can tell you that it's only once per week. I avoid wearing orange every day, but that's okay. So having said that, and being asked to open the introduction, the 5 minutes, I will maybe bring on this table and then open discussion for sharing information or sharing the experience of a retail group, fixed, mobile, convergent group, but also dedicated to new usages in Europe and Africa. And as you may know, obviously our experience might be quite or slightly different from what you can see in the North American market. So obviously, what Gary explained in his first speech was absolutely shared by us about the change, global change. And one very funny slide for me was the slide about the change of business model moving to 30-something to 69% is obviously the look for new revenue and the merge and application, let's say, issue globally. If we look at what is the Orange strategy, given the change of business model, ecosystem, new players blurring all the traditional frontiers and coming into the content, or Google coming into the network or the submarine cable industry or vice versa, I think that the key word that we have is obviously to be customer focused. We've let's say, said a few words about the key experience of the relationship between the customer and either the device or the application, but it's clearly where is the driver. Definitely, we do not believe in any, let's say, killer application. We do believe in a lot of small killer application, each of them in their specific segment. For the time being, the total revenue provided by the content, the e-health, and let's say mobile sports, you know, that type of things, is only 6% of the total revenue in the group. And we forecast an increase up to 15%, which is a lot. So here I would say that the key words, and I will be very interested in discussing with you, will be about the innovation that we can bring on the market on the services, and obviously how the industry can manage to, let's say, enable those innovations. And I will take only one example, which is the need for the, all the m-banking services. Obviously, when you consider the word, let's say, from here, it's not exactly the same as if you are in Senegal. Just think about Senegal. 11 million of inhabitants, among which 4 million of mobile users. And how many people with a bank account? 500,000. Meaning that you have more than 90% of the population without access to the banking system. And still the need is here. And it's where the mobile may bring some of the, let's say, key usages for them. But then, if you speak about what happened in Senegal, it means that you also have to address the needs of the communities everywhere in the world, meaning that the Senegalese that are here in the United States or that are in Europe. And now they can obviously manage that. And here it's where the industry may find the answer to the lack of revenue, margin, or whatever we see on the traditional services, is how we can bring this innovation and thus bringing the margins and bringing the revenue growth that is needed. 5 minutes, is it good?
Yeah. Good. Thank you, Claire. Pete, you're up.
Well, actually, I have one chart.
One chart, you got it.
I actually have 20, but I'll keep it to one.
No, you can use all 5 minutes for charts.
I don't have to say anything, just flip the charts. Let me get here. Did he move that? Oh, here it is. So how do I have
Function
to put
F something or other.
that?
There it is.
There you go. Okay. My name is Pete Patello. I'm the CEO of Network IP. Actually, I already wasted my one chart. Sorry about that. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we'll maybe do 2 charts now. Again, my name is Pete Patello, the CEO of Network IP. Probably haven't heard of Network IP in these forums before. You probably hear us from our really child company that we created. Our new start was a company called Jaduca. So if you've heard of Jaduca, then you'll know Network IP is the underlying provider, or really the underlying technology company that makes Jaduca work. And again, Jaduca is 100% owned by us at this point. And it's something we've really taken and used to expand our business model out into new directions. Before I go on to charts here, I want to give you a little bit about Network IP, kind of the history of us. Network IP is, I call the original open company from the telecom perspective. We started back 10 years ago really with a clean sheet of paper. It's not like some of the companies in this room and so forth that may have gotten religion like Gary talked about, that are opening up their architectures. Verizon and others are opening things up, or the tier 1 carriers are starting to open up. We started open. So we started 10 years ago with a clean sheet of paper to created a business model that really opened up an architecture and to go forward to build a solution that was open from the beginning. In fact, what we did 10 years ago was take and not really wait for what everybody else in the world waited for, which was, oh, we got to wait till SIP gets here, we got to wait till VoIP gets here before we can really open up. We opened it up even with TDM. So we started externalizing, pushed those big dumb TDM switches off to the corner and said, okay, we're just going to control those as if we were controlling a soft switch of the future, and start developing our model now, our application, our technology, and innovate and open that stuff up. So when we started 10 years ago, we really started with the pieces we've had, and we're one of the rare companies out there today that have gone 10 years and reinvented things. Typically in telecom, what happens is people buy legacy equipment and then want to milk it for 20 or 30 years. That's the history of telecom, even longer. I mean, there's still guys that got old XY and I mean, no step-by-step and stuff like that yet out there, still trying to milk that legacy equipment. We started 10 years ago realizing we had to be more like Sony. When Sony creates their camcorders, they just don't keep slapping new stuff on or duct taping new things to it or just adding things to it. They reinvent a new camcorder. And they've constantly got teams reinventing the next camcorder. We did the same thing with our business model 10 years ago. And with that, we have 8 revisions. So we're on our 8th release of our software. Now, I could say that in a kind of tongue-in-cheek that every release has a new opportunity. It's not like Microsoft and Vista. I know that kind of seemed like that's gone downhill. Microsoft has evolved over many years as well. But each one, we believe our versions are getting better. We realize the issues of memory, the issues of CPU speed, the issues of technology, and each time we've reinvented ourselves through the last 10 years, we take advantage of those things. So we believe we're sitting here today, 10 years later, with an evolved system that everybody else now, a lot of people are just now